Thank you, Chair Bergquist, Vice Chair Cortez, Ranking Member Eslick. There sure seems to be a lot of thematic integrity to the briefs today, so I'm really happy to see that. I spent countless hours during the interim engaging with service providers like RHCs and solo state-operated living alternatives, as well as adult family homes, companion homes, nursing homes, and indirectly but relevant in general, prisons and other locations where we house various populations in our state and outside of our state. House Bill 2200 is one of the outcomes of those efforts, a bill that is fundamentally about good governance and system integrity. Right now, Washington State's developmental disability system is operating under what I would call a transparency inverted pyramid. This bill and others I'm signed on to, like 2319, which we heard earlier, aim to uncover and make clear the areas creating division in our communities of care and communities needing care. I want you to imagine a pyramid standing on its very tiny tip. That tip represents our state-operated facilities, our residential habilitation centers, and our state-operated living alternatives. In this small sector, which serves fewer than 900 people, we have rigorous oversight. We know we can explore and compel answers when a crisis occurs, when police are called, and when staff turnover spikes. In fact, we have vigorous oversight efforts, as we learned during the committee assembly days in this very committee regarding compliance concerns at one of our RHCs. But as you move up to the massive base of that pyramid where the vast majority of our population lives, the data disappears. The feedback we can receive for the bulk of our spending disappears. We have over 4,500 individuals living in contracted community settings, yet we're effectively flying blind on their safety outcomes. We are rigorously scrutinizing the few, less than 800, while ignoring the many, more than 4,500. We need robust care in all settings, and it's my hope that we all want a robust continuum of care where every client has a safe place to live and the ability for themselves, their guardians, the administrators of our systems, and us as legislators to have reliable, consistent, and accessible data. Last year, as we debated where people should live, it became painfully clear to me that the debates over the closure of one setting in Senate Bill 5393 were largely framed by opponents of the effort like me and proponents of the bill on the back of anecdotal stories and individual evidential circumstances. I felt frustrated very often by the dearth of data. At one point last year, it was unclear to me even how many people lived in different settings. In the interim, my question was, can the community system handle higher acuity clients? And the answer I discovered was quite literally, there's no way to know. Is there capacity? Is there safe capacity? Is it better, worse, or different than where our clients are served today? Well, there's one thing I do know. Whatever exists, we should elevate that information and we should measure it. You cannot expand or improve what you cannot measure, and you cannot measure what you cannot see. I believe we should treat this whole sector with the same professional rigor we apply to every other area of government. We wouldn't fund schools with public dollars. We wouldn't fund schools with public dollars in public or other settings without knowing graduation rates or teacher retention. We wouldn't drive housing policy without knowing eviction rates or capacity or other factors. Yet in this multi-billion-dollar sector, we're operating without these basic input variables. House Bill 2200 fixes this by establishing an apples-to-apples standard. It directs JLARC to conduct a retrospective review of the last 4 years, comparing 911 calls, ER boarding, placement success and failure, and staff retention rates across all settings, state and private, that are funded by state dollars. It creates a public dashboard so that by 2027, families can see this data for themselves. If a private provider is failing placements and sending clients to the ER as a pressure relief valve, taxpayers need to know. Conversely, and probably more common, if a provider is doing an excellent job managing complex behaviors, the data should prove that they are doing so that we can replicate that success. We should build a system based on success. Right now, we cannot verify that success, failure, or even other challenges. We can't verify it for more than 85% of the people we provide ongoing support for. 85% of the people we don't know this information for. It's time to look holistically at all housing settings for these populations and measure them by the same metrics. House Bill 2200 simply turns on the lights so we can finally see the whole room. Thank you, Chair.